the excitement to get back to the gym. Are you excited?
So excited.
Good morning! I'm Amy and this is A-Star Reads, and I'm very excited because it is the very first day of my 12 Days of Christmas Carol Advent Calendar Challenge. I'm starting early. It's the 25th of November, a Monday, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to start all the Christmas fun. I have actually already started some Christmas fun. We've been watching Christmas movies. We have been listening to a lot of Christmas music. We are doing some Christmas crafting, and so I didn't want to wait this year because I was sick last year. So I'll tell you what though, I've already been sick this year. This last week was a rough week for me. I've been having a lot of stomach issues and I'm starting to feel better. Today I feel pretty darn good actually. And Jordan and I went to the gym this morning, which was the first day back in a few weeks, just because between her and I, we've been off and on not able to go. So it was great. We did core. I feel really good about that. I feel wide awake. And I don't have to work today because I kind of planned it that way. So I'm just so excited to get this thing started. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you didn't watch basically my introduction TBR video, I will link it up here so you can go check it out because I'm going to spoil the book that I'm reading right now. And I opened the very first day of my Advent Calendar Challenge and I picked City Spies by James Ponti. I'm so excited to get to this one. First, it's a great way to start this challenge because it's a middle grade book. It will hopefully, let's see how long it is. Like 350 pages-ish, a little bit longer than 350 pages, but it's a middle grade. It should go fairly smoothly. I'm expecting this to be very adventurous and action-packed, and so those books tend to go a little faster because you just get in the thick of it and you're like, what's gonna happen next? I can tell you, without having read it yet, for one, it's a popular series, but two, kids love this. So here's your Christmas guide. If you know or have a 3rd grade to maybe 7th grade kid in your life that is a reader, or you want them to be a reader, you want them to find something exciting to read, and you're thinking about Christmas gifts, I recommend this series, and I can tell you it comes highly recommended by most kids. So it's one of those ones that probably most kids will enjoy. Not all, obviously, because everybody has their own taste. But whenever I talk about this series or kids start talking about this series, it's pretty universally loved. So I'm sure that you could read it even up to early high school, but I think the age range that it's most exciting for is probably 3rd to 7th grade. So because it's nice and quiet and it's early, I'm gonna get started on this and I will get some breakfast and I'll give you a bit of an update once I know a little bit more. I do need to go to the district office and drop something off this morning, but aside from that, I really don't have any plans except that we need to get the house ready to start decorating because this week I'm planning on doing a lot of Christmas decorating. So that means organizing and getting the Halloween stuff put away, getting any other holiday stuff put away that doesn't need to be here. And then we need to go out to our storage unit and get some boxes to bring here so that we can start setting up Christmas stuff. Super, super exciting. I can't believe it's already happening. We're here. Christmas is coming very quickly. Let me know in the comment section down below, when do you start actually celebrating, decorating, getting ready for Christmas? Everybody has different timelines that they like to do it in. We don't always start as early as November 1st, but because I needed Christmas, I needed to make up for last year. I needed the vibes. This year especially, I needed Christmas vibes. We basically started doing Christmassy things November 1st. And usually though, we start around Thanksgiving. But I'm kind of liking this November 1st, at least just sprinkling in little Christmassy things. So if you're a person who celebrates Christmas or one of the other holidays this time of year, let me know in the comment section down below what your schedule looks like this time of year, what you get excited about this time of year. Okay, so I have read the first 3 chapters. Let's see, that's where I'm at right now. And I have a good idea about what this is about now. So our main character, Sarah, is 12. She's 12. And when we first start this, she is meeting with her lawyer, her court-appointed lawyer, to talk about the plea agreement that she is going to get for breaking into the juvenile system of New York City, like the juvenile system, because she's like within a foster care system. And the reason she broke into the system, the computer system, she hacked it, was because the foster family she's staying with is totally abusing the system and then neglecting and abusing the children that they are fostering. She wanted them to get caught, and instead they don't get in trouble. She gets in trouble for hacking the system. And it's so bad that they want to put her in juvenile detention for a couple of years. Well, all of a sudden, a different person shows up into the office and says that he's her new lawyer. He's this tall British man who is very well dressed and doesn't appear to be a court-appointed lawyer. And he makes her plea agreement actually worse to the point where she's supposed to be in a detention center until she turns 18. He does this for a reason, though, because the detention center he says she's going to be put into is not an actual place, but the judge goes along with it because the spy is able to, well, he's a spy, I didn't tell you that, explains to the judge that he has some incriminating or embarrassing emails that if they don't take this plea agreement that he's offering, the spy, and they go to trial, he has some emails that will not make the prosecutor or the judge look good. It's not necessarily anything illegal, but it's just not going to make them look good. And they're both like, I don't want that kind of stuff out there. So the judge agrees to this detention center, which he thinks is a real place, but it's actually fictionalized. And when they get out of the courthouse, Mother, the spy, says, well, I'm a spy, and I'm giving you some options. You can come with us to Scotland, and we'll put you in a boarding school there, a really great boarding school, and you can spend your whole time being in that boarding school. 2, if you don't want to do that, we can bring you back to the U.S. We'll find you a really good home, not like all the horrible foster homes she's been in, and keep her safe away from the system until she turns 18. 3, she still has to go to school at this place in Scotland, but she'll be like a day student, and she'll live at this barn with all the rest of the spies within this group. And the reason they want her is because she was able to hack this system in New York City, and they have a big mission coming up, and he seems to rescue / employ orphaned kids from around the U.S. who have some sort of ability that allows them to become spies. Well, as you can imagine, the concept of becoming a spy is very intriguing to her, especially because she loves hacking the system and she wants to do good things, and that is important to her. Like, the reason she was hacking the system, the juvenile system, was because she wanted to protect herself and the other foster kids within that household. So, like, this gives her some kind of sense of purpose. And so far, it's cute, it's fun, it's fast moving, which I expected it to be. And I like the humor. The humor is really cute. I really like Mother. Mother is a fun character. And Sarah's a great character. She's a little flat so far. You know, we haven't got too much of her personality, but at least she's doing everything for the right reasons. All right, so it's the evening now. It's 5, and it's been an exciting, fun whirlwind of a day. And we have been busy. We've taken down all the stuff that's like Halloween or different holidays and packed it all up and put it away. Did some organizing of the table and different areas of the house. Not great, but we started getting to work on it. And then we had to go buy some of the big tub boxes to put stuff in. And something super exciting and fun, my cousin and her new husband and her 2 sons, I call them my nephews, even though they're my cousin's kids. They moved up here. They moved up here yesterday. So they were texting us last night, letting us know when they got in. And then today, my cousin had to go out and do some shopping, and she's like, hey, go visit the boys, help them unpack. They're older. One is 12 and one is 16. So Mom and I went over and we spent time with them, and we just had such a fun time, like all being very excited that they finally moved up here. We're gonna get to spend so much more time with them, and it's just brilliant. We're just so excited. And then we went to our storage unit to drop off boxes and to pick up some Christmas boxes. So we got our Christmas tree, because we do 2 Christmas trees. We do a live one and we do a fake one. And the fake one we usually put our Disney ornaments on. We want to set up our fake tree once we get our card table and all that stuff taken down. We got things to do still, but we picked up Christmas stuff ornaments and some decorations and some other things so that we can at least get started decorating. If not tonight, then soon. You know, we can do it soon. So yeah, really, really exciting. Like we're just moving. Today was a day that I had a lot of energy and I just felt like doing a lot of stuff. So it's been a good day. I also did quite a bit of reading actually. So if you see that, this is a very quick read, which I expected it to be. It is middle grade and I'm currently on page 90. And I'm gonna read some more here in a little bit because now that we're back home, I'm ready to sit down and read for a little bit. At this point, they're just getting to Edinburgh, to Scotland, and we're getting to know the other kids, and they're super sweet and cute and fun, and I like their personalities. I get the feeling I'm gonna really like this series. I'm gonna like the found family aspect to it, and I'm gonna like the different personalities and how they work together, and the different things, like the quirks about these different kids. I just think it's gonna be a very interesting, cool series. And already you've got them doing these little mini missions. For one, to test her. Two, the other kids haven't met her yet, and they're kind of spying on her to see what she's gonna be like. It's fun, it's really cute, and I am looking forward to seeing where it goes from here, what kind of adventures they get up to, especially once they actually get on their mission, the big mission that they're meant to have. So maybe I'll be able to finish this book pretty quickly and go on to number 2. That will be pretty awesome this early on in the, like, we're not even in December yet. That would be great. I do have to work tomorrow though, and I'm going to the gym tomorrow morning. Hopefully I don't have to work Wednesday, which is the day before Thanksgiving. I mean, I will take a job if somebody asks me, like specifically asks me, but I'm also like, if nobody asks me, that's all right. I'm kind of enjoying having this week a little more free. Good morning. It is second day of my advent calendar challenge. I didn't do any filming last night because I had a rough night. I had an angry stomach and I was not feeling good at all. So today I'm at work. I'm all right. Still having some stomach issues, but I'm all right. I'm here. I was able to get to page 100, but I didn't read that much more last night. So hopefully later on today when I go home, I'll be able to read some more and, you know, like at least keep this pace going that I'm doing because I feel like I'm doing really well. But today I've just got to work and hopefully I'm taking it back to like the plain rice, and I had a protein shake for breakfast. So I'm keeping things light on my poor little stomach. Good morning. It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving here in the US, which is also the 27th. So it's the 27th and I'm off today. I did go to the gym this morning though. I didn't film anything, but I went to the gym and it was leg day. And I am going to be hurting tomorrow because I get DOMS. So tomorrow will be the day that I will have a hard time walking, standing, sitting, all this stuff. Yesterday, just kind of like tender all day. So I just was not in the mood to film too much and I didn't, but I'm gonna make up for it today. So I wanted to get you caught up on where I'm at with City Spies. I have a book review and I wanna show you some books that I got recently. So I'll do a haul actually, because I don't think I've told you about any of the books that I've got, and I've also gotten some gifts recently and I'm very excited to share those. So first, let's talk about where I'm at with City Spies. I'm currently on page 174, so almost halfway through, and really just having a good time with the pacing of this. I love the concept of this. I love the spy aspect of it. I'll be curious to see what their actual mission becomes, because the mission at this point, like, just story-wise is not as exciting to me as, say, you know, if these kids actually did spy school and stuff like that, or if it was a different kind of mission. It's kind of interesting. And there's this like Willy Wonka aspect to it, which I think is kind of cute, but I'm just like, is this gonna be interesting? I'm sure it will be. I guess I was just hoping for something a little more exciting for this. I don't know. It's been super fun up until this point. I haven't been bored, so why am I anticipating that? That's just ridiculous. Anyways, I really think Sarah, aka Brooklyn, because that's her new code name, I really think Brooklyn is a fascinating character. I like what she is showing herself to be. We're getting a little more depth from her, and I think it's fascinating because I think she's a really cool character. The other characters are really interesting too, the other kids, but we haven't dived as much into them as I would like, but that's probably because this is a series, and so maybe the other ones focus a little more on their story, and this one is all about bringing Brooklyn in, having her be the main character, and then we'll get to know these other characters a little better in future stories. So that's what I have to say at this point, and I'm hoping to make some pretty good progress with this today. Would be cool. I won't be able to get it done today because I got other things I gotta do. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We're going over to my aunt's house, and I'm planning on making pumpkin ooey gooey butter cake and this eggnog cheesecake recipe that my friend, I think Jesse sent that to me. Didn't you send that to me, Jesse? Yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna try it and see how that goes. I love eggnog, and a lot of our family loves eggnog, and so we'll see. We'll see how it goes, because we're not huge cheesecake people, but eggnog can make anything amazing. Next point of business. I haven't told you about a lot of the books that I've read recently, and I think at this point I'm not going to, at least not in these videos, but I do want to tell you about a Christmas book I read, because this is a Christmas series, and for the Herkiad, for the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, I have to read one book that is released in each month. So like a book that was released in October, a book that was released in November. And this little series was released in November that's called Under the Mistletoe. It's this Christmas novella series by some really well-known romance authors. And the first book I think is called Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. This is like 71 pages or 70 pages. It was a short, quick read. I got it done before this challenge started, but I wanted to tell you about it because I read it and I actually really enjoyed it. I know it got very mixed reviews, and I'm looking at the reviews for the other books in this series, and I think I am going to continue reading this series because they're novellas. You know, they're quick. Some of them are like 50 pages long, but they're getting pretty poor reviews. And, you know, a lot of people have mixed feelings about novellas in general, but I'm just wondering like why they're that low. Okay, so in this story, you've got Jamie and Mark, and they're childhood friends, but there's always been this tension, these feelings between Jamie and Mark. It was very clear that Mark had strong feelings for Jamie for a very long time. And I think Jamie sort of came into those feelings, but they've had an upset in their relationship, not romantic relationship, but their friendship, because they've been friends first for so long, and Mark's kind of always been waiting for Jamie. So Jamie has to go over to Mark's family house to borrow this copper pan that her dad wants to use for Christmas ham. And so when she gets there, she's like super upset and nervous to see him because something bad happened in their last interaction. And it turns out she gets snowed in there because the weather gets really, really bad and she can't safely travel back home. And within this, we start exploring what has happened between the two of them and more about their relationship in the past. So we do a lot of like in the moment, but then also going back and what happened before, how they grew up together, like different scenes of their lives as they're growing up. So you're building that relationship, so it doesn't seem like this insta-love sort of thing. You know that they have loved each other as friends, at least, for their whole life. I thought it was a nice, quick, well-rounded read. I thought it did pretty good at tying up any loose ends, really bringing the story from beginning to end. And it was a good arc of a story, especially for a novella. That can be really tricky. And I thought it did a really good job of convincing me of this relationship of these two characters. And I think that's important with a romance, especially with the shorter story. I also felt like I could relate with our main character, Jamie, with her relationship she had with her father and some of the ins and outs of that relationship and how that has affected some of her life. I thought that that was a very interesting aspect. And anytime I read a book where I can see myself in that character in some way, it adds to my experience. It helps me relate to them more, and I'm probably gonna enjoy it a little bit better. So ultimately, I gave this 4-star, maybe even a 4.25 star. I think I'll settle at 4-star for now. I did enjoy this a lot, so I'm curious to see what the other books in this series are gonna be like, because this one actually got like the highest rating, 3.81 average rating, but like the next one in the series got an average rating of 2.9. That's really low. That's a Tessa Bailey book, Merry Ever After. Then the Olivia Dade even got a lower rating. That's 2.68. That is so low. So it's like, what is going on with these books that they're that low rated? And then the fourth book is by Alexandria Bellafleur, and that one got a 3.4, so it's a little higher. And then the fifth one, the final book in that series that just came out is by Alexis Daria. I don't know if I recognize that name of an author. And this is Only Santa's in the Business, and that's 3.46. So it seems like it goes down, gets worse, and then it gets better again. But the Ali Hazelwood one, the first in the series, is the most high rated. And throughout this month, if I end up reading these other 4 books, I will give you reviews of them so I can give you an idea of my own thoughts and whether or not I feel equally about how they're rated based on the average. I want to tell you about some gifts I got. I'm so excited. For Bookstar read-alongs, we have already decided on what our series are going to be for next year. And one of those series is Foundry Side, which is by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is a fantasy series that's really well known, and I've wanted to read it for such a long time. So this is the first book, Foundry Side, and these were a gift from my wonderful friend. Let me find the things. Leanna. Leanna's been following my channel for a very long time, and she's an awesome person, and I really, really appreciate, Leanna, all the support you give me in so many different ways, and, you know, then, like, adding books to my collection. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Leanna. Okay, and I do have something coming for you. I just haven't finished working on it, but it's coming. Okay, so this is what Leanna says. Hi, Amy. Here's a little early Christmas cheer to set up your festive season. I hope that you have the very best holiday and that those pesky germs stay out of your way this year. Yeah, agreed. And then it says, your content always brings me joy, so I wanted to send a little joy your way in return. Hopefully you enjoy this trilogy. If not, at least it's nice to look at. And it's true. These are beautiful books. So I don't know which one's the second book. But you got Foundry Side. Yeah, the only thing about this is that they sent these books to me in a bag, not like, it was just like this cardboard bag thing. And so the first book of Foundry Side got a little creased. I was like, dang it. They should have just sent it in a box like they normally do. Stupid Amazon. But it's a beautiful series. And then you got Shorefall. Beautiful. And then you got Lachlan's. These are such I'm so excited to read this series. I have a feeling I'm going to absolutely love it. I just get that vibe. And the last thing says, thank you, Amy, for sharing your creativity and adventures. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Leanna. So thank you, Leanna. I'm going to tape these into my books like I normally do, and I will definitely get to these books soon because these are the books for Bookstar Read Along for next year for 2025. One of the series. I'll tell you about the others in that announcement video, which I will link up here. The other gift I got was from my amazing friend, Elisa, and she got me Calling Me Home by Julie Kibler. This is the book for my Advent Calendar Challenge. Like, I was going to get it from I got to go to the library and pick up a book. I got to pick up a book from the library. Don't let me forget. This is one of the books that may or may not come up this year for my Advent Calendar Challenge. However, it is one that I do want to read because when I found this book for my very first Advent Calendar, it was one of those books that I was really intrigued by. And I was like, you know what? Even if I don't pick it, I still would like to read it at some point. So now I don't have a choice. I've heard really good things, so I'm expecting this to be a book that I will really enjoy. Let's talk about some other books that I got or purchased recently, and I may have more, but I don't know at this point or where they are. So we're just gonna go over these ones that I can easily find. So the first one is a book that I've been wanting to read for a while. I've heard really amazing things about this nonfiction book, and it was free at work. Like, I went into the teacher's lounge and they had put out a whole bunch of books that, you know, like, take these books if you want them. And this book, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, was available. I think it's going to be very appropriate not only for myself and my life, but also for teaching. Really super appropriate for teaching. And this talks about the brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma. So different aspects of trauma. And I think it talks about generational trauma and how your body's keeping track of these traumas that have happened over generations is what I believe it to be. And then how that affects your health and different aspects of your mental well-being and all that stuff. During Halloween, one that I picked up at our local bookstore because we went and watched this Indigenous storytelling evening at the Mount Baker Theater that was based on some of the stories in this book. I picked up Never Whistle at Night, and it's edited by Shane Hawk and Theodore Van Alst Jr. This is an Indigenous dark fiction anthology, so it's an anthology of different dark stories within the folklore, but also interpretations of the folklore. Especially after watching that storytelling evening, I think this would be a very interesting read, and I'm looking forward to being scared by it. And then just the other day, I was at Costco, and should I have bought books? No, I've been pretty good about not buying books lately, actually. I've been doing pretty darn well. But I went over to the book section and I got in trouble. The first one I got was Fourth Wing because they have, it's paperback. I usually like hardback, but it's a really pretty version. It's got the wonderful dragons on it. And so this was at Costco. And so I've been wanting to read it and I like the version. It's really pretty. I have a feeling I'm going to love this book. I know that it's mixed and it gets mixed reviews, but I believe I'm going to enjoy it. And so I'm just excited that it looks so pretty. It's just such a beautiful book. So I will get a chance to read this at some point, but you know how it is. Books go on my shelves and they die. They just stay there forever until I eventually read them. And then there was one book left of this book, and it was The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. I know this is the third book in the series, or at least it's not the next book because there's a second one that I haven't picked up. Did I even actually buy the first one? I don't know. But this one is perfect for my Advent Calendar challenge. So I don't think you necessarily need to read them in order, but maybe next year I'll read the second book in the series at some point, and then next Christmas I can add this to my Advent Calendar challenge if it fits in. Usually most Christmas carols have the word Christmas in them, not all of them, but a lot of them do. So hopefully it'll work, and then I can incorporate this into my Advent Calendar challenge next year. It was just pretty, and I was just feeling excited about the holidays, so I picked it up. And I didn't absolutely love the first book in the series, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe or whatever it was. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it, and I could see reading more in the series. It was fun. Like, it's just one of those fun romance series, a little goofy, but you know, sometimes you just need a little goof in your life. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I want to update you with right now. I am going to put together a shopping list to go get all the things that I need to make the desserts that I'm going to make for Thanksgiving tomorrow, and read. I'm going to read, and I think that's it. Like, I think that's pretty much it for oh, no, that's not right. That's not it. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm thinking. We have plans to, I'll just show you. Hold on. My house is a mess. Please just know that. Just know that and accept that. Well, you don't have to. You can turn it off if you don't want to see this, but I want to explain to you what we're going to be doing. So this section here, this table ends up being somewhere where we put a whole bunch of books and put stuff like crafts and stuff like that. And it's just it's like this card table that we put out here for doing the Christmas Advent puzzles last year, and we just kept putting stuff on it. So that has to go away. These are Christmas boxes that we were gonna pack and put away that we didn't actually put away. So those can actually stay out because we're starting to decorate for Christmas. And we're gonna try and do better next year about actually putting our Christmas stuff away. So anyways, the goal today is to get rid of this, and then move that chair over here so that we can put our fake Christmas tree up right there and start decorating it. Historically, our fake Christmas tree has been our Disney Christmas tree, and we put all our different Disney ornaments on it. And so I think that's still the goal at this point, but we thought it would be nice over in that corner because you could kind of see it through the window. And that's something we can get going, and we can start enjoying a bit of Christmas cheer already. So that is the plan for today. We'll see how much of it actually gets done. We'll just have to see. Okay, so here's the progress so far. We got the whole table cleaned off, so that's great. Still haven't worked on that section yet. Good morning. It's Thanksgiving morning and I completely forgot to show you what my cheesecake looked like. So I did mess up. And I was thinking about this when I was actually cooking it, or when I was doing it. I was like, that's weird that she wants us to do a springform pan in a water bath. And I did the recipe exactly as she told me to do, because I was like, well, she must know that springform pans, maybe they don't leak as much as I think they would leak. I don't know why I didn't go with my common sense, but let's just put it to, I've been tired lately. Let's just put it to that. Anyways, once I finished putting everything together, cooking the cake, I was looking at the recipe. And down below all the recipe information, it says water bath options. And then it was saying, if you're using a springform pan, put it in another pan that's slightly larger than it, and then put it in a water bath. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Of course. That's what I was thinking. So there was a little bit of water seepage into the crust. Nothing so bad that I'm like not going to keep the cake the way it is. But I was trying to move it out of the springform pan and the bottom of it before I didn't want it to sit in any liquid or anything and like get even more moisture. And so when I was moving it, I got a couple cracks here and there. It didn't seem to be too bad, the bottom with the water. There was definitely some soggy bits, but you know, this was my first time. Next time I will either not use a springform pan because I only had a 10-inch one, so I don't have anything smaller, or I'll make sure to find something to fit it in, because I don't have a lot of things that are big enough to go around whatever would go around my springform pan. You know, like to put this inside of something and then put it inside of something else that I could pour water into. Do I have any roasting pans? Okay, let me show you what it looks like after refrigerating it all night long. There's my cheesecake, and see, there's the fissure from doing all the moving and stuff. That wouldn't have happened if I wasn't trying to get it off the base, the springform base. I have it on a cake base right now. But I put the parchment underneath it to hopefully help it dry out a little bit. But of course, putting anything in the refrigerator is going to make it bring a little bit of moisture to it. But I covered it with that. I'll wipe off the moisture on that. I did let it come to room temperature, at least as close to room temperature as I could. But I will say, to finish this out, you make this whipped cream stuff that goes on top of it, so it will hide that little fissure, even though I'm just mad that happened. Hopefully it tastes good. I won't know until we eat it. Okay, so I still have my pumpkin ooey gooey butter cake to make, and the whipped topping that goes on top of the. Ugh, this thing sheds, so then little hairs are flying around, like cloth hairs, little, you know, whatever. Anyways, I'm not awake yet, so that's it for me. And I'll just bring those over, and then we'll have some delicious Thanksgiving meal and spend time with family. We got lots of family going to be there, and I'm very excited about that. And I'll just be careful with my stomach, because my stomach is a jerk these days. So I finished City Spies. I finished it this morning by James Ponti, and I really enjoyed this. I don't know that I would give it more than a 4-star. I think it's a great start to a series, and I'm looking forward to continuing on. I liked a lot of aspects to this. It did feel very middle grade, which is appropriate. That's what it's meant to do. There were some moments, okay, well, let me just say this. I enjoyed it. I had fun reading it, but I had no problem putting it down, which is, you know, that doesn't sound right considering I got through it pretty quickly. And, well, 3.5 days, not even 3.5 days, like 3-ish days. I was mostly making sure I picked it up again because I wanted to keep the momentum on my Advent Calendar challenge. It's not that I was bored, it's just that there wasn't a lot of incentive, or I didn't feel the need to pick it up and, oh, I gotta read. So I'd be reading it and I'm like, oh, I could put it down easily right now. Like, I didn't feel so pulled in and so engrossed the whole time that I was like, oh, I can't put it down. It's well written for a middle grade. The characters are interesting, maybe not as much depth to them as I would like, but you know, perfect for a middle grade book. And I thought that there was enough whimsy and fun and interesting aspects happening to this, but there was still something that kept me from, so maybe yes, it's a 3.75 stars for this book. I've been struggling with a bit of a reading slump lately anyways, and I haven't yet found a book that pulls me in. So, well, actually, no, Cruel Winter with You, that romance, that little short novella, I didn't put that one down. I read that one straight through in one sitting. And I think it was just fun, and it was easy, and it was light. Still think it's a fantastic book. Still think it's highly recommended for a young audience. I will continue this series. I can see myself liking these books more and more as I go along, as I get more and more attached to the characters. But I think it's one of those series where the first one was good, but there were things about it that didn't keep me totally wild about it the whole entire time. And I think it has the potential to get even better for me as the series goes along, if that makes sense. I am very excited to be able to say to my students now when they say, have you read City Spies? I'll be able to say, yes, I've read it. And let's talk about Brooklyn. Let's talk about Paris. Let's talk about these characters and what's going on. And da, 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 da. You know, that is a fun aspect of this, is now I can talk to the kids about it and we can like share our excitement. And the ending was definitely very satisfying. They did a little bit of jumping back and forth from scene to scene to scene to try to build a suspense, which I thought, I've read it in books, in other books that I felt was a little more successful. I totally understand what they were trying to do, but there wasn't as much suspense built as I guess they were intending. I did like the outcome, and I like the implications for future stories. I like that we still have a lot of mystery that we don't know about, which makes it work for future stories. So that means that it is time for day two. Day two, what is that? Let me find my notes, hold on. Okay, so day 2 is In the Air, There's a Feeling of Christmas, and the options are Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts, which would be fun. I would love to have a romance novel to read right now. Or The Christmas Orphans Club by Becca Freeman, which would be great. It would give me a Christmas story and get this book off my TBR because I've been wanting to read it since last year, the year before, I don't remember. And finally, the activity is an outdoor wood fire with hot chocolate and friends, which would be really fun now that my cousin and the boys are here. We could have this big, you know, bonfire to welcome them. Let's find out what it's gonna be. Day 2 is gonna be, okay. Oh, that one opens easy. Okay, here it is. Here it is. What's it gonna be? Okay, I'm not looking. Oh, okay, romance. Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts. This is the second non-Christmas book and non-activity that we've gotten. So actually, I'm very excited about this because I honestly think that I have read this series before, this one about the Three Sisters Island trilogy, these witches. I'm not positive because Nora Roberts has some trilogies from that time, like it was like probably in the 90s, that are similar in some ways. When she was getting into the witchy stuff, 2001. When I graduated high school. Okay, so I'm actually very excited about this because even though it's a bit of a longer book, it's a romance. It's Nora Roberts, which is very easy to read. And I could use a little bit of romance right now, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see if I get any Christmas books or activities or if we're just gonna go all non-Christmassy books. And sadly, this one's going back on my shelf for next year. Poor Christmas Orphans Club. One day you'll get read. All right, so if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you can see what happens as I start reading Dance Upon the Air. Let me know in the comment section down below if you've read City Spies, what you thought about it, if you've read Dance Upon the Air, your thoughts on this one, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching.